Alright, so, I've beaten a vast majority of the mainline Mario platformers, to the point where I only have 5 games left. The 5 in question are 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, and Wonder. Now, the main reason for this is because I didn't really have a way of playing them, up until recently, that is. Back in April, I bought a Wii remote purely so I could play Super Paper Mario, and looking back, that was an extremely convenient decision for my little side quest of beating every mainline Mario. Because thanks to that, I can now play the 2 galaxies, and that's exactly what I did. As per usual with the games that I dedicate entire videos to, I did not 100% these. I'll probably come back and do that at least for the first game one day, but I decided to only go for the any % routes because otherwise this video would have taken way more time to come out. Without further ado, here is Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Now, the first Mario Galaxy is a lot of people's favorite Mario game, but also a lot of people's favorite game of all time, so I had some really good hopes going into it. And yeah, it did meet most of my expectations. That said, it's not a perfect game. It's an extremely good one, but not perfect. Let's go over all the stuff that I enjoyed. First of all, the setting is absolutely amazing. It allows for a lot of variety with each individual galaxy, but also a lot of super cool space theming with all the enemy bases and the Comet Observatory. Second of all, the soundtrack is godly, easily one of the best soundtracks that I've ever heard. When I say that I recognized over half of it from random YouTube videos I've watched, I'm being serious. It's not just extremely recognizable, it's also really atmospheric and fits everything so well. Space Junk Galaxy is the perfect example of this. I love Space Junk Galaxy so much, dude. It's easily my favorite galaxy in the entire game. And that leads me into my next point. Some of these galaxies are absolute peak Mario. Before I list them off, I'd like to mention that I only got the main 3 stars in each galaxy, along with some secret stars and some comets. I did not get any of the purple coin stars, so if there are any shit purple coin stars, sorry. That said, Space Junk, Gusty Garden, Ghostly, and Gold Leaf galaxies are all either 9 or 10 out of 10 Mario experiences. In fact, most of the galaxies are really good. Yes, while some of them have some shitty ass stars in them, they're really good largely. Now, keep in mind that everything that I've mentioned so far covers about 80% of the main campaign, and I've pretty much only praised this game. So, time for the last 20% that I really did not like. First of all, I do like the comet system. I think it's a really cool way of adding more stars while reusing past stars. That being said, some of these comets are absolutely diabolical. The Cosmic Comet in Gold Leaf is really stupid because it's way too precise. The Comet in Freeze Flame is unironically easier to do than the main star that it's based off of, and that makes the normal star way more infuriating. And finally, the goddamn Daredevil Comet in Ghostly. Boulder Guy's damageless is genuinely terrible. Some of these bosses were clearly not meant to be done damageless, and Boulder Guy's is one of them. I know I'm not forced to do it unless I want to go for 100% since the 60-star requirement is really lenient, but I did every star that was accessible to me until Dusty Dune, so I made myself sit through it anyway. Those are all the really annoying comments that I wanted to talk about. The rest are either eh or fine. Now let's talk about the galaxies that I didn't like, which there are only 3 of, by the way. First off, Good Egg Galaxy. For being the first galaxy, my god, is this one way too difficult. I almost game over to Dino Piranha, who is the very first boss for Christ's sake. Also, it's one of the only galaxies that I genuinely found really disorienting. I do not like Good Egg Galaxy. That being said, it's way better than the other 2 that I'm about to mention. Next up on my shit list is my least favorite galaxy in the entire game, Beach Bowl Galaxy. Oh my god, this galaxy is pure dog shit. I hated all of the stars here, and it's just because of the goddamn underwater physics. They are so fucking bad. I could not get used to them at all. Why does tilting my nunchuck upwards cause Mario to look towards the bottom of the goddamn water? I don't get it. And the normal swimming is shit too, because you can't position yourself precisely at all. Did I mention that the camera is so unbelievably atrocious that it forces you to get out of the water to reposition it before going back in? Oh my god, I hate swimming in this so much. This entire galaxy's miserable to play. All the 5 stars that I got here sucked. And the thing is, there are other better swimming galaxies. Sea Slide is fine. The fucking fish boss fight one is fine. This one sucks. Whatever. Last up on my list is Toy Time Galaxy. I only got 1 star here because I didn't want to put up with the spring mushroom. That's all I'm gonna say. The other power-ups in this game are awesome. The bee and boo mushrooms are peak, but the spring mushroom sucks. Anyways, that's really all I had to say about the first Mario Galaxy. A solid 85% of it is really damn good, but the other 15% is so goddamn annoying. It doesn't ruin the game, not at all, but they do prevent me from saying that this game is devoid of any real big flaws. If I were to give it a score, I'd say an 8.5 out of 10 reflects my opinion the best. It's definitely a good game, a quite impressive one for 2007, but not perfect, like a lot of people say. I did enjoy it, but it's just not 10 out of 10. Now, on to Mario Galaxy 2. Galaxy 2 solves literally every problem I had with the first game. There was hardly anything that I disliked here. In fact, I'm just gonna get the one thing that sucked out of the way first. The fact that I have to feed the Hungry Loom in World 6 is really fucking stupid. If you didn't already feed the one in World 4, you are just screwed. I got to the Hungry Loom in World 6 with 700 star bits. Wanna know how many he needs? 1800. I had to spend like 15 minutes grinding starbits in Sweet Mystery Galaxy to be able to proceed with the game. And Sweet Mystery Galaxy is unlocked by feeding the Hungry Loom in World 4, so that's just awesome. Genuinely, this is so shitty. Anyway, time for the good stuff. Literally everything else. While there aren't really any real standout galaxies this time, there aren't any exceptionally shitty ones either. The pacing is also just so much faster. When I play a Mario platformer, I want to actually play the game instead of walking around the hub world half the time. Don't get me wrong, the Comet Observatory is pretty cool and all, but oh my god, the world map is so much better. I genuinely did not realize how big of an improvement this was until I actually played Galaxy 2. Another thing is that they go about the progression of the game a lot better. It's not just do whatever, just get the 60 stars. Here there are mandatory galaxies you need to play in each world to progress. To me, this is just so much better than leaving everything up to the player, because the player can be someone like me that ends up doing every single star possible early on and then just forgets to play the final set of galaxies. I did not play anything in the garden. I only got up to the lava reactor in Galaxy 1 and then rescued Peach. Here, I gave every single galaxy a shot except for, I think, the one at the dead end in World 6. Speaking of the galaxies, no more 5 stars per galaxy. Here they are at max 3, and I'm extremely on board with this, because now you get a lot more variety a lot more often. As much as they were pretty cool sometimes, the galaxies with 5 stars in them from the first game were also pretty goddamn sluggish. I also learned my lesson from Galaxy 1 and didn't go for every single comet that was available to me. The ones that I did play, however, were fun. I didn't find a single Daredevil comet that was really bad. The spin drill guy was a bit annoying, but that was it. Granted, the game is not exempt from annoying comets. The Tall Trunk one seems like it really fucking sucks. I only gave it like 2 or 3 tries before throwing in the towel at like 85 coins. Also, they had the chance to make a shitty Daredevil comet in Flipsville Galaxy, but they didn't, and I commend them for it. They also figured out that nobody likes underwater controls from the first game, so they made them a lot better. Not good, mind you, swimming in this is still annoying, but it's so much better. First, they fixed the inverse up and down controls. Now check this shit out, look. Up. Down! They figured it out! Hooray. I found out a bit later that this is only in the 2D sections, but still, it's an improvement. Second, they put a limit to how often you can spin while underwater, which seems like it would suck, but it's actually a blessing in disguise because your fastest option isn't spinning anymore. You can make a lot more precise movements with just the normal swimming now. Third, it's almost all the times that you're required to swim in 3D, they give you a shell so that way it doesn't suck. And finally, the camera is way better. It actually functions how it's supposed to now. Anyway, enough about the water, time for something else. The power-ups in this are so much more enjoyable to use. They kept the 3 mushrooms from the first game and gave them little cameos in random galaxies. The bee and boo mushrooms also both appear once for each star, or like 1 star each, and I'm happy that they're here, they're fun. The spring mushroom also has only 1 star in Chomp Works. Honestly, this was one of my least favorite stars in the entire game, and it's nowhere near the terminal ass cheeks that were Beach Bowl and Toy Time. I think Nintendo realized that nobody wants to waste all their lives on the spring mushroom star of all things, so they give you a free 1-up each attempt so you can just not game over there. It's also just a straight line, so you don't have to precisely platform with this shit. You made the spring mushroom somewhat bearable. Congrats. Anyway, the new power-ups are a lot better. The rock mushroom is pretty fun, pretty much on par with the Galaxy One ones. Using it to demolish everything is very fun. I only really disliked the comment that allows you to kill 30 crabs with the rock mushroom in 1 minute. Once again, the game knew nobody would have wanted a game over at a random crab comment, so they gave you plenty of 1-ups to retry it as much as you want. The spin drill is honestly barely a power-up, but the fat guy puts it in the museum, so I guess it counts. It's fine, very situational. Finally, the cloud flower is easily one of my favorite Mario power-ups of all time. This thing fucking rocks. Every single star that uses it is a joy. I love the cloud flower. Along with the power-ups, I'll also discuss Yoshi, since he also gets a couple of them. Yoshi is such a welcome addition to this game. He makes everything 10,000 times easier to maneuver, and just in general makes the game so much more fun. His power-ups are all very situational though. The Bloom Fruit, Dash Pepper, and Bolt Berry are all whatever. I'd rather have them for variety with the Yoshi stars than not. Anyway, that's really about it. Wow, this game is very good. I'm sorry, but this game is just fucking awesome. It entirely outclasses the entirety of Galaxy 1 for me. It's not even a competition. 9.5 out of 10. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.